Hi, my name is Matthew Damon. I'm going to be discussing Cisco systems. My title is Proactive Mitigation in Unfavorable Circumstances. Cisco systems had a unique beginning. It started in 1984 when a Stanford couple tried to email each other, and their company or their school that they were part of did not have the technological know-how to do that. Today, their products and services include networking, telepresence, firewalls, and security management. Any sort of communications and the internet is what they pretty much focus on. Corporation facts. They're traded publicly on the NASDAQ. They went public February 16th, 1990. They're ranked number 57 on the Fortune 500 list. There's 65,000 employees as of 2009, and their revenue is $36 billion. Market capitalization is $135 billion. And their stock price as of 9/21/09 is $23.39 per share. They've done pretty well. Their corporate headquarters is in San Jose, California. They also have major headquarters in 6 of the 7 continents. 10 countries in Africa have a major corporation in them, a Cisco system company. South and Central America also have 10. Asia, Pacific, and Middle East have 26 different countries with a Cisco Systems headquarters there. Europe has 29. Their customer base is very widespread. They provide communication and internet services to governmental agencies, large corporations, small businesses, and just plain consumers. So they really cover every spectrum when it comes to that. Proactively meeting the supply. Their goal was to coordinate the supply chain in case of a potential natural disaster, to prepare for disasters such as fire, earthquake, hurricane, tornadoes, floods, whatever it be. They started by assessing where their suppliers were located. This company is an international company. It's global. It's 95% outsourced. They have thousands of suppliers in hundreds of different countries. Therefore, being proactive in this would potentially really help them. The goal is to minimize the effect of a natural disaster to both the consumer, the bottom line, and the suppliers. They want to minimize the effect to the suppliers by providing resources for single-sourced items. They did this by multi-sourcing. A single-sourced item is an item that is only produced in one place in the world, and they did this by having other companies build the same product or a similar product that would function the same. Their goal in all of this was to maintain meeting the equilibrium point even in a disrupt economy or for whatever reason that the supply chain got dismantled or whatever. So they want to meet supply curve and demand curve. They set up a team called the Supply Chain Risk Management Team. Their goal was to find alternative manufacturing locations, like I said. They want to translate long-term risk mitigation into short-term priorities, therefore get done. They want to reduce the cost of risk mitigation strategies and programs. And they also joined the National Center for Crisis and Continuity Coordination, also known as NC4. The NC4 provides, as we'll see in a little while, great resources for large companies and even smaller companies when they're primarily outsourced. May 12th, 2008, they really got to put this to a test. There was a 7.9 magnitude earthquake about 80 kilometers from Chengdu, China. The NC4 provided real-time monitoring to the situation. It notified them of the supply chain locations where they were located and how many were affected. There was immediate notifications as to any change that was provided to Cisco. Within 48 hours, Cisco was able to provide full impact analysis of the situation and what was affected, and they were able to initiate within 24 hours other manufacturing locations for single-sourced items. This is far improved. Many companies are still at working about a week or so until they find out what was really affected and how they can best change to fix this situation. The impact of this earthquake was approximately 20 suppliers were affected in some form. Two major ones that we'll be talking about will be known as Supplier X and Supplier Y. Supplier X had potentially significant revenue effects. So what they did was they initiated another manufacturer to manufacture these goods, and they provided resources to Supplier X, such as transportation to get whatever they could out, and different housing for employees and for their goods. Supplier Y had less revenue effects, but there was greater damage to the facility, and so they also provided resources for Supplier Y, such as construction companies and other things, so that they could rebuild and get back on their feet quickly. The internal effects of this was the response time. They had the correct information available to them, so they were able to make rapid and correct responses to what was coming out. They ensured the safety of the extended supply chain, and they ensured that valuable lessons can be learned from each incident. So as things were happening, they were able to learn from them, because this was the first time the system was actually tested. External effects. They minimized the effects felt by shareholders, and they also, consumer products were not extremely delayed. In conclusion, I've discussed what is Cisco Systems, what are their global operations, what is their customer base, and proactively meeting supply. Also, I showed a test on the system's effectiveness and the outcomes of this test on both the internals and the externals. If I was the CEO in this instance, what I would have done is provided, looking back, hindsight's 2020, I would have provided 48 hours worth of supplies to be stored in a warehouse somewhere in a safe location where they would not be affected by any major natural disasters. The impact of this on the internals would be that we'd have 48 hours without delay, where we could try to get everything back on track, and also shareholders would not feel anything, so the externals would be perfectly fine. Proverbs 12:24 says, "Work hard and become a leader. Be lazy and never succeed." Cisco Systems has worked really hard, and they've become a leader in their industry. Thank you.